Hello and welcome back to my YouTube. We've got game 2 now with Xiaoxia versus Snow. If you missed game 1, it was an insane cannon rush. I'd recommend you check it out. It's interesting to see that Snow can be both extremely patient and stable and macro-like, but then sometimes be super cheesy. And of course, if you don't know Xiao, he is an amazing Chinese player right at the very top of the ladder with the greats. We're going to go into this game now. The rematch between these two. By the way, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow me on Twitch at Tasteless TV on Twitch, where I cast these games live with my community. And check out tastelessthreads.com, my merch shop, where we got a lot of cool stuff that I think you'll enjoy. Into this game, we have Snow over here in the top right. We have Xiao down here in the very bottom right. Things can get a little bit sticky on this map because of the very way it's shaped out here, and I'll be able to show that as the probe comes over here. This is a map that really likes people that fast expand and want to be greedy, and that's because you have a high ground area here. It's one thing to have a high ground that you got to get onto to get to your expansion. It's a totally other game when your opponent has to push up a high ground area to get a kill. Now, we've seen some pro games where players will get they'll make only one cannon or only one sunken colony and maybe die early on, but I think as we have weeks and weeks more of this map out, players are going to be pretty solid at defending. And so maps like this allow for a lot of different types of corner cutting, which can be pretty difficult to deal with on both sides. Now, in this game, not only is Snow going for Nexus early, he's going for Nexus first. This is a Nexus on 11. And this is kind of a crazy move here to start things off. The fact that he went for Nexus immediately into Forge. And the question is, when is Zerg going to find out? Now, the Zerg is sending a drone out now. And so he's going to spot this, but I don't think there's any way you can punish because Zerg went for hatchery first. And so you're going to see this and immediately know there's not really a whole lot that you can do. One of the advantages about going for Nexus first is that it is so absolutely corner cutting in the sense that you don't even have to make a second pylon if you don't want to. In this case, wow, look at that. He gets another pylon here. I'm sorry, I guess I'm wrong. I guess you can just do that. But you get what I'm saying. I mean, you're going to have extra supply right away, a gateway coming down. It is cool, by the way, when we get to do a deep dive into these games that you can see exactly how the build orders pan out. So what is he at? He's at 17 to 25 supply. That's when the cannon starts. And immediately 5 probes are transferred over here. Back at home, Xiao is just producing drones, but you can already see Protoss is at a bit of an advantage, although the gas has not been mined just yet. So that'll start a little bit late. Over here, we've got the layers started and a base taken down at 6 o'clock. This core should be, yeah, it's a little bit under halfway done. And it's going to be a bit of a quiet start here. Again, there's really no way for Protoss to move out unless he sends this one Zealot across the map, which we do see from time to time. The Zerg is really taking advantage of this by basically not having any Zerglings at all. It looks like some are morphing, but he didn't have to deal with any threats right away. The layer's going to be done. More drones are being made down here at 6 o'clock. And we should see the Stargate come. And keep in mind that when you get all this stuff out this quickly, the Stargate's actually coming out a little bit faster as well. And that's another thing that's a bit scary for the Zerg. It's a lot harder to cheese. And in this case, I don't think the Zerg is going to cheese here. Looks like a Spire is going to be planted the moment that the layer's done. Lings are going to move across the map. And we do not have Zergling speed done yet, although it has been... its upgrade started a while back there. So... now over here for Protoss, we've got air weapons, +1 attack. And so this is... although the build itself is pretty modern, the idea harkens back to a lot of what Bisu did, where you're trying to make Corsairs regardless of what the Zerg's up to, trying to take a fight with the Corsairs and the Zealots once charge is done, and really force the Zerg to spend a lot of these drones that were made earlier on here, force them to turn into sunken colonies or some other kind of defending structure. And so the Spire is nearing completion, and we have a second Stargate coming down. Now this is interesting in that it's a blind second Stargate, but you also got to imagine it seems like there's a lot of Zergs that would, very comfortably try to go into mass muta and try to win the game that way. And so maybe this is a way to blind counter that in some sense. Double Stargate coming along nicely. No Citadel yet, but I imagine that's what this probe is here for. Back at this base, we've had the 6th hatchery planted. So this shows that Zerg is not going to be trying to expand again, but instead trying to get ready to take some kind of a fight. And it's really important that Protoss identifies that and tries to be ready to also take the Zerg head on. Now, this Stargate is made over here. It's a little bit harder for the Scourge themselves to spot it. Let's see. Does he actually... hold on. I don't know which one I'm supposed to click on. Is he going to see this? He will. Okay, that's big. The Citadel's coming along. This probe, I get asked this a lot. So if you watch a lot of my casts, you might be wondering why I say this all the time, but people keep asking it. Why would you trap a probe back here? Because this probe is stuck. This is his home now until these minerals are mined out. It's because if you can put these Corsairs in a control group with this probe, it's the same trick that you see when Zerg players put an Overlord in a control group with mutas or trap a Zergling somewhere. It makes the Corsairs bunch up, and you can already see that. And that makes them extremely powerful in a fight. So he comes forward now, and he's just going to immediately come right on top of this Overlord here. A little bit too ambitious, I would say. Now, whenever we cast ASL games, Artosis and I, we're always talking about the fact that the Zerg is going to switch into Hydras. And sometimes that's where Protoss players just die. No armor upgrade just yet. And the Templar Archives is done. But there's no Overlord over here either, so DT should be fine. And this is kind of a cool take on the double Stargate play that I personally think is pretty good, is the hidden Nexus. Especially on a map like this, if you can get cannons up here and just a few Templar, even though Hydras are usually good against a Protoss player that's going for a lot of Corsairs, the fact that you're on a high ground already, it's like, well, you might just be fine. And then you can tech up later. So Psystorm starts. Drop has started. That's definitely something we want to watch for here as this game develops more and more. This is really bad. What is going on here? This Templar decided to run away from home. Ooh! He dodges it. Nicely done. Did he kill that Templar? I think he might have. Sorry, guys. I'm doing the observing here. So Psystorm's coming along. Gateway and cannons here. A lot more cannons coming down here. And the Hydra bus is going to come up. Now, I guess I don't really like this. I feel like this is so many cannons spread out over here. You know, this might be exactly what I talked about. No, chat, I don't think Zerg knows about the top left base. More cannons are going to come down. The Templar are going to pull back over here. And lurkers are going to come. Now, look, you know, on one level, I think it's cool that the Protoss gets his base up early. But at the same time, it makes me a little bit worried. You have to make probes one at a time. There's so much money spent that has to defend this. Oh, God. And a robo? What? Why would you make a robo there? What? More cannons. Yeah, I guess he might want to have made a reverb. The thing is now, I think this is just going to cost him the game. Does he have enough for a storm? He's going to in a second. He actually might just barely hold this. Oh! He doesn't move him out of the way, but there's more Hydras coming. Well, that's going to be that. That was a weird one. I don't know. It does seem like if you invest that much into that location and you lose it, you're going to lose the game. I like the idea of the hidden Nexus. But at the same time, I guess it does create these other problems. Like, if Zerg spots it, what do you do exactly? Also, making cannons in the main, or in the main of the new base, and then also cannons at the entrance? I don't know. Kind of an odd one. But anyways, thank you for watching. Please check out tastelessthreads.com for my merch. We got a Get Good Scrub shirt on over here. And please subscribe to my channel. I'll be having at least one game drop a day for Brood War. And if there are new amazing RTS games that come out in the future, I'll be doing cash for them as well. Have a good one. Bye-bye.